I thought this day was never going to get here. 7 months ago, like many other people, I placed my order for the Rollei 35 AF, the new Rollei 35 camera, and it finally arrived. Take a look at this beautiful camera. Look at that. This camera is such a close match to the original Rollei 35. It's beautiful. And it's not just superficial. When you start opening it up and looking inside, it looks like the descendant of a long line of fine cameras. It's just the modern version that has some electronics in it. Pretty neat. I went out to shoot some photos today, and I shot 1.5 rolls of my short rolls. It turns out to be, with those short rolls, it turns out to be I shot about 15 shots. And of them, I've only got 7 good ones, I think. The camera let me down. I didn't make it past the 3rd photo before it started doing its weird stuff. Let me show you. The way you open this, it works just like the original Rollei 35. You flip this little lever on the bottom, flip it up, and then the back slides off. And pressure plate comes down. You put your film over here, pull it across, feed it in, and you shoot a couple of blank frames. Let me show you how this works. You turn it on, and fire the shutter, and you cock it. Oops, this one doesn't let me cock. Something is wrong with this camera. I actually was able to load it successfully twice because I had 2 rolls I tried, and the first few shots went fine, and when I went to shoot, it would fire, the shutter would open, and then I would cock it. Then, maybe my 3rd shot, I went to do this. The shutter release is supposed to stay depressed when you fire the shutter. And you notice I'm not cocking it. And I'm pressing it, and it keeps opening the shutter. So that is how you get double exposures. Here's my first photo. This is a plant that's in my dining room on the table, and it turned out pretty good. I was happy with this shot. And the second photo is this vase in my hallway. The third photo is where I first ran into the problem. And you see this picture of myself in front of the mirror. And you can tell by, just look at the position of my hands, you can tell it's actually 2 separate photos, different photos, superimposed. Double exposure. I fired the shot, and it was just weird. I noticed that the cocking lever wouldn't move, and the shutter release was still up. So I thought, well, maybe it didn't fire. So I squeezed the shutter release again, and then cocked the camera, and it all worked. But that gave me a double exposure. Then we got these 2 photos, which I think turned out pretty good. These ones of trees in a pond. And here's a nice photo of a stone walkway. And then we get to my last decent photo from the lot, which is a double exposure again of a tree. And it's kind of artsy looking. I'm not upset about this photo, but at that point I was really frustrated with the camera because by this point I could not advance the film. The camera had locked up and nothing I could do would get the film advance lever to work. I really hope that Rollei and Mint are able to sort this out and get me a camera that works, because otherwise, this thing's beautiful. Let me just show you. Let me compare it. Here's the original. Back slides off. And you've got your little pressure plate and everything. This is like, again, as if this is a descendant of this great line of cameras. It's not just an homage. It's the loading of it, the feeding, everything felt just the same. Take a look at these wheels. These are just like the original. When you are holding this, you put your fingers under these wheels and you roll them. One on the camera's right, on your right when you're looking down at the camera. That's your aperture. And you'll notice there's a little metal thing under there. And you squeeze that as you turn it. And it's absolutely natural to squeeze. You'll feel it. It's just like, that's just, it seems like it would be tricky, but it's not. Well, it's exactly how the new Rollei 35 does. It's got the same little metal thing at the bottom. You squeeze that and you turn to change your aperture. And same thing over here. Your shutter speeds. Just like that. Works exactly the same. In order to use the original Rollei 35, you have to pull the lens out, pull it out like this, and then you click. Now you shoot, and then you have to cock the shutter before you can shut the lens. And you press a little button on the top, unclick, and shut the lens. And that whole lens sticking out bit, it makes the camera smaller, but it means that you have an extra step to do when you're getting the camera ready and when you're putting it away. In addition, when the film runs out, it's most likely that the lever is going to stop in the middle. So now you've got a camera with the lens sticking out, with the lever halfway that you can't cock fully. You can't get the camera in the state that it needs to be in for you to close the lens. So you either put that in your camera bag like that and take it home, or you empty it in the field, one way or the other. It just adds another awkward step. What they did with the Rollei 35 AF is pretty cool. They designed the lens so that it is fixed in place. This does not collapse or slide out. And it retains the look of the original without the fiddliness. It's a great little camera. I really, really wish it would work. If a camera can't make it past the third shot, there's something wrong with it. So I'm hoping Mint will sort this out and painlessly get me one that does work. Well, that's all I've got for you today. Thank you for watching. Now go out and shoot a roll.